RGT does not hate Xbox. Right now, I am playing Avowed. I'm about 16 hours into the game, and I'm thoroughly enjoying my time with it. Is it a perfect game? No. Are there flaws? Yes. Are there things I would change? Yes. But the combat is extremely satisfying. I really like having a bunch of different weapons at your disposal, leveling up those weapons, crafting different weapons, and making enhancements for certain weapons, and then just trying out different combinations, which makes the combat extremely satisfying. The exploration is really fun in the game too. So I'm enjoying Avowed. And I have to say that because, well, we got to talk about some interesting things involving Xbox right now, with one of them being a very hot topic within the video game industry, artificial intelligence, and one of them being another hot topic, the Nintendo Switch 2. It seems like Microsoft is going all in with Xbox on the Nintendo Switch 2, but it also seems like Microsoft is going all in with AI, and there's lots of debates about this, so we're going to talk about this today. Let's talk about the AI stuff first. Artificial intelligence. Of course, we recently learned about Microsoft Muse, which is a generative AI model that can generate game visuals, controller actions, or both. And that's a scary thing for people. You know, when you hear about generative AI, it seems like there's levels to people's outrage when it comes to AI, and generative AI is, you know, usually the hard limit for a lot of people, because generative AI only exists with things that it can build upon, things that humans have created. It then looks at them, analyzes them, and creates something in its own image, and then makes it, but it can't exist without humans giving it something to go off of in the first place. And you know, it's a huge debate. It's a very slippery slope. There are people that absolutely hate AI, and I'm not saying I'm a fan of it, but what I am saying is that it's been let out of the box. And once you let something out of the box and companies start to see this and realize what they can do with this to potentially maximize profits, it's profits over people. No matter what industry it is, no matter where you look, no matter what you're doing. If you're a big company, it is profits over people. So while I think in the immediate future, it'll just be a tool that is used to assist people and help people out when they're making their games, look at how far AI has already come in the short time that it's been available to the peons on the marketplace. So Microsoft Muse started a lot of controversy, but then, of course, Satya Nadella, who is the head of Microsoft, said a lot of very interesting and potentially out of touch things when it came to utilizing things like Microsoft Muse in upcoming Xbox games. It's just very cool. One thing that we wanted to go after was using gameplay data. Can you actually generate games that are both consistent and then have the ability to generate the diversity of what the game represents and then are persistent to user mods, right? So that's what this is. The cool thing is what I'm excited about bringing. We're going to have a catalog of games soon that will be using these models, or we're going to train these models to generate and then start playing them. In fact, when Phil Spencer first showed it to me, where he had an Xbox controller, and this model basically took the input and generated the output based on the input, and it was consistent with the game. And that, to me, is a massive, massive moment of wow. It's kind of like the first time we saw ChatGPT complete sentences, or Dolly Draw, or Sora. This is kind of one such moment. Now, like, he's obviously championing for this, you know, this AI, this generative AI, and how it's going to help games and help the creation of games, but it completely eliminates the human element of things, taking into account job losses, I mean, the industry's already in a decline right now. Look at how many layoffs there are every single week, studio closures. People laugh at me when I say there's a game crash. Bro, we're just in the starting point of it. Things like generative AI are going to wreak havoc upon the gaming industry. And the way that companies use it will dictate how the future of the gaming industry is. And I think based on these words, you should start to really wonder, like, if you're in school for game development, get the hell out. Go to a trade school, bro. Plumbers. AI ain't going to take over a plumber. AI ain't going to take over a freaking electrician or something like that. Learning a trade. If I didn't do this, I would be kicking myself in the ass for not learning a trade, because trades are always going to be there. Trades are always going to be much more immune to AI than stuff like game development, because Xbox is going balls deep into this. And, as a consumer, there is that excitement. There is that kind of curiosity as to how this will play out. But as an industry, I mean, if you don't see the problems with this right off the jump, once again, we are in the infancy of AI. It is just going to get better as time goes on, not worse. These motherfuckers never watched Terminator. They never watched Terminator. I don't understand it, but Microsoft, Xbox, they're going all in on AI. I've seen some people be excited about this. Good old Colt Eastwood seems to be excited about it. I have questions. I have reservations. But the other thing that Xbox is definitely going balls deep into is the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, Phil Spencer has already said about a month or so ago that they were looking forward to working on the Nintendo Switch 2 and developing games for it. Of course, Microsoft is putting their games on Xbox, PC, PlayStation 5. Some of them have hit the Nintendo Switch, but obviously the future bodes bright for Xbox games on the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, recently, Phil Spencer did an interview over on My Friends. Yes, these are people that actually like me, Xbox era, with Shesh Paul Nick and Mohawk MVG, and I believe the other gentleman's name is Jesse. I wish that I could have Jesse's girl. But they recently did a little interview with Phil Spencer, and there was a very interesting quote that came out of it. I'll have a link to the full interview in the description box down below. Go show Xbox era some love. Whether you like Xbox or hate Xbox, I mean, they're providing information on it that might be pertinent to you. I just want to be transparent with people, Phil Spencer said. For shipping on Nintendo Switch, we're going to put that. For shipping on PlayStation, on Steam, people should know the storefronts where they can get our games. This is all about letting people experience our Xbox community and our games and everything we have to offer on every screen that we can. They also wanted to get the logo back all the way in June of 2024 during the developer direct, but they couldn't get the assets done, and it felt weird to have some of them in and some of them out. So obviously this bodes very well for the future of Xbox games on the Nintendo Switch 2, because I mean, they're obviously, you're not talking about, we went from a conversation about just 4 games to how branding is going to be popping up when applicable for a system. And obviously the Switch itself is fading out. So really he's talking about the Nintendo Switch 2 here. Now, some people look at a lot of, Xbox games and think, oh, well, this game can't run on the Switch 2. This game can't run on the Switch 2, even though we haven't even seen the system yet. But you have to remember one thing about Xbox is that they have something called the Xbox Series S. Now, maybe in terms of raw power, the Xbox Series S is a little bit more advanced than the Nintendo Switch 2, but there's going to be stuff with upscaling that the Switch 2 has that the Xbox Series S doesn't. And many games run very, very well on the Xbox Series S, and the Xbox Series S is thought of as an afterthought with these ports. It's more so focused on the Series X. Look at a game like Resident Evil 4 Remake. That game actually runs at 60 frames per second on the Xbox Series S. So why can't a game like that end up on the Nintendo Switch 2? Why can't a game like the Halo Master Chief Collection, Forza Horizon, games that are now, at least rumored or indeed confirmed to be coming to the PlayStation 5? I think the sky is the limit with this. I think Xbox, I really think they're going to go all in on the Switch 2. I really do. I think, this is their new motivation. When they talk about, when Sarah Bond walked out there and talked about the greatest technological leap for gaming ever between what we have now with the Xbox Series X and their next platform, it's not talking about it in a traditional way. It's not talking about, A Link to the Past to Ocarina of Time, Super Mario World to Super Mario 64. It's not talking about anything like that. It's talking about Xbox putting their games everywhere, taking that technological leap of artificial intelligence and how they're going to rely heavily on that to help assist with games or even create new games. So I feel like these two topics are actually two topics within one, you know, because this is going to impact Nintendo Switch too. You know, do you honestly think that Xbox is the only company that's dabbling with AI for their games, that is looking at how they can utilize AI to potentially maximize profits and cut down budgets and, you know, make things faster in the developmental process? If you think it's just Xbox doing it, you're a fool, Pliskin. There are a lot of companies that are going to be dabbling in this, and people that are swearing off AI now, they might not be left with a lot to play with in the future if a lot of these companies are doing it. So, like I said, check out Phil Spencer's full interview in the description box down below. I will have a link to it. Shout out to the boys over at Xbox Era. But let me know what you think about all of this. What do you think about Microsoft and Xbox, you know, doubling down on AI? What do you think about Phil Spencer pretty much saying, you know, balls deep on the Switch 2? And what Xbox games would you like to see on the Switch 2? You know, Halo, you know, Master Chief Collection, give me that, bro. Give me that so I can beat up on a bunch of kids who have never played Halo. I'd like to see a Forza Horizon on there as well, or even just Forza Motorsports. There's no realistic racing games beyond like Grid on the Switch. So I think that's a marketplace that Xbox could actually potentially thrive and be successful in. Let me know what you think of everything in the comment section down below. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Be sure to like, comment, and share. Hit the bell as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.